This is an all-around bad group of people. Men and women. This is an all-around bad group of people, and the show is just getting started. What's wrong with everybody? What is wrong with everybody on this cast? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk Ready to Love, Season 9, Episode 3, Finger Licking Good. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video if you enjoy it. Leave some comments down below. So, we know that today is the brunch. It's the next week. So, the second group that we met last week that we all thought was more fun, okay? The second group of singles are there and they're all looking around like, dang, Tommy said it was going to be some more people here. Where they at? Tommy comes strutting in, on his little Kim. And he is like, well, remember I told you guys that I had 9 people here to meet you. One of them didn't even decide to come, so we know that he's not ready to love. That was unnecessary to even bring up. Completely unnecessary to bring up. Nonetheless, Tommy then says that here are the 8 singles that are here to meet you guys. So they find out that it's the gentleman's lounge, or the gentlemen have the power this week. One thing that if they don't change anything else about the show, I feel that nobody should know who is going to be sent home, right? So I feel like don't announce it, because when they announce it, if it's the men's turn to have the power, they don't take the week serious. If it's the women's turn to have the power, they don't take the week as serious. You know what I mean? I think it should be, we're going to go into deliberations with both. Okay? And you just don't know. Maybe we get rid of 2 women this week. Maybe we get rid of 2 men this maybe we get rid of women in back-to-back weeks. Maybe we get rid of men in back-to-back weeks. You know what I mean? But we find out that the men are in the power, so they're all like, oh, okay, we can sit back and chill. We don't have to do anything extra because I'm safe to live another day. So Tommy tells them, mix, mingle, try not to come up single. Might be the episode title for the recap. All right, y'all, so let's get into it. So we're at the brunch that we were at for a minute, and April gives Lamar a side hug. Everybody's greeting. He tried to kiss her. Y'all, I had to rewind it. I had to tweet it. At what I cannot believe that he, one, did that, 2, that he thought that that would be okay. And then was like, no, I was just trying to give you a side hug. No, you tried to kiss her. And she clocked it. Whether it was a kiss on the cheek, a kiss on the lips, a kiss wherever, you tried to do that. Wildly inappropriate, sir. Wildly. Production, security, everybody, y'all need to be watching his weird self. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. We then see Alonzo rubbing feet. So you're rubbing feet through the shoe while people are sitting around eating. Throw the whole brunch away. Will and Vanessa go talk. And he tells her that she is giving him the dreamy eyes. Will has a very inflated sense of self. He said that he's Timothy. So was she giving him dreamy eyes? Maybe. Why did you have to say that in that moment, though? Because that would turn me off if I just met you. So he, in his confessional, said that she looks like Bernie in the weight room. Is that shade, or is this nigga colorblind? Bernie is purple. She had on pink. Let's move to the next mess. We then see Mika, April, and Jonathan. Okay, side note about Jonathan. Y'all, some of y'all was so mad I said he's handsome. Damn. People's in the comments, he's not tall, dark, and handsome. It's okay. It's okay. The thing about beauty is it is subjective, right? Everybody don't like everyone, but y'all was kind of big mad that some of us said that he was handsome. Oh my God. That's okay. Maybe somebody will come on the show that y'all think is handsome, and then you can put it down in the comments, okay? So they're talking to Jonathan, Meek, and April, and they're grilling him about his relationship with his ex. So they're asking, because he mentions that he has a child, have you spun the block? Have you gone back? Have you double dipped? Is it over? And he says that, he hasn't spun the block as of late, but right when the relationship ended, he definitely did. The key part in that is he is saying relationship and not ex-wife, right? So he's in his confessional and he like doesn't want to talk about his relationship, which is interesting because every time Jonathan sits down with somebody, he's asking them, so let's talk about your last relationship. What happened? What went wrong? What did you learn from it? These are questions that Jonathan has asked. So I don't understand, and it's typically the men that come on here, and whenever somebody is like, so, a woman is like, so, why did your last relationship end? They don't want to talk about it. They're offended by the question. It's a basic question. How long have you been single? How long did that relationship last? Like, I think these are standard questions that people ask so that they can, really see how healed you are, see if you are ready for a relationship, see if you are still, maybe hung up on that past relationship. But for you to be mad about that is weird, right? So he like lies and says that he has to use the restroom and then basically runs away from the table. We get April and Lamar. This was a whole mess. So April and Lamar are talking, okay? We find out that Lamar has been married twice. He has been single since 2016. He does not have any kids. She then asks, has he dated since then? He said yes. She asks, how long was this relationship? He didn't want to answer. He asked, and why does that matter? She was like, well, it matters because I'm asking you. He said, and who are you? She gives her full government name. I don't remember. I'm going to just say April Renee Jackson, right? I know that's not her name, just a full name. So she's like, so why are you refusing to answer? He doesn't want to answer. He asks if she has another question. He calls her, I think he said she was corny in the confessional. And it's like, I don't get how that's corny. She said that she really don't want to talk no more. They have nothing else to talk about because she would answer any question that he asked her. She walks away and he was like, you're dismissed. She said, ain't nobody dismissing me. Now, this went wrong on both ends, right? While these are valid questions, April's delivery is wrong, right? Because, like, what do people always say? It's not what you say, but how you say it. In most cases, right? Most, not all, but I feel like in 90% of cases, it's not necessarily what you say to somebody, it's how it comes out, how it comes across. The way that she was answering those questions, rattling them off like this, not giving a break, it's even like the tone of her voice. On the flip, right? One could argue that she gave him that energy first, but at the same time, he matched her energy and then went above it. And he really didn't have to go above it either. Safe to say, they don't need to be together. They don't need to talk again. And then the brunch is over. I was like, oh, did everybody eat? Everybody get their plate? Okay. Alonso, Jonathan, Alexis, and Koshia go bowling. Nice little double date. They play ladies against men. Whoever loses has to do a chicken dance. The guys lose. Alonso, as goofy as he is, didn't want to do it. Jonathan does it, was a good sport about it. So they break off into twosomes to chat a little bit. So Koshia and Jonathan are talking. She said that her love language is quality time. He asks her why. What do you mean? What do you mean why? Okay, to spend time with you? I thought that was a weird question. She didn't know how to answer, so it's silent. They're like looking at each other. Jonathan said in his confessional They don't have chemistry. He doesn't see a connection with her. He sees her shutting down. Alexis and Jonathan, because they split, they, swap, and he asks her, what does a Sunday fun day look like for her? She says she'd rather have lazy Sundays just kicking it with her dude. Maybe have a picnic in the park or, do something like that. He likes that idea. He likes that vibe. I think a lot of people think Sunday fun day has to be going out and getting drunk, and it doesn't. It doesn't have to be that at all. He likes her Jordans. She was just like, I have nice, pretty feet. Do you rub feet? Do you suck toes? I'm so sick of hearing about toes and feet on this season. It is episode 3. Why do we keep hearing about this? It's weird. So, meanwhile, outside, Alonso is talking to Koshia. He asks, how would she deal if they had a pregnancy scare? What? What? Why is this your first question? She said we wouldn't have one, but then she said that my aunt always said if you're making biscuits, don't be surprised when you get a biscuit. I think that's what she said, something like that. He asked, does she always talk in code? She does talk in a lot of riddles. She does. But I also feel like that was very passive aggressive. You were trying to make fun at her. You were throwing shots at her. Maybe because you didn't understand the riddle, you didn't understand analogy, metaphor, whatever, simile, whatever you want to call it. You didn't understand it, so you have a problem. I don't know. I thought it was weird that he would even ask her that. So they're not meshing. It's not going well. They then get into the issue of, I think he asked her something like, when do you ever get an attitude, or like give somebody the cold shoulder, ignore them. The gist of that is that she is spoiled, right? She identifies as spoiled. So she feels like she wants to get her way, and she gets in a mood if she doesn't. She's in a confessional saying that she doesn't like any of his jokes. He does not like her energy and tells her, I'm sick of you already. What is going on this episode? Like seriously, what is going on this episode? So that's the end of it. We don't see a rebuttal or a reply or anything like that. William, Lamar, Vanessa, and Patrice are at an art studio doing fluid paint, which I have done before, and it is really, really fun to do. So if you have not done it before, y'all should try to find somewhere to do it. So Patrice is talking to Lamar, and she said that she likes this type of stuff. To her, this is quality time. She likes doing different types of activities. Lamar said, this ain't my type of quality time. I like to touch. See, people like him that make everything sexual, that have sexual innuendos and everything, don't get sex. People that get sex don't talk about sex all the time, right? It's kind of like whatever. He's childish. I mean, the side tooth alone should have been a turnoff, sis. So you're fine, Patrice. He asked her what are her core values. She wants a God-fearing man. She wants a man that, believes that there is a higher being than themselves that they look up to, but that, however she phrased it, she wants a God-fearing man at the end of the day. He follows it up with something about sex. I didn't feel like rewinding, but it's like, he's like a 13-year-old that has just gotten himself off for the first time, and now he wants to do it all the time. It is weird. It's creepy. It's really giving SA vibes to me, if we're being real about it. So she was so happy when they switched. So Vanessa goes up to Lamar and it's like, I know you're very honest. What do I need to do better with the guys? Because I was in the bottom 2 last week. He tells her she's too reserved, right? And it's not that you are reserved, you're just being reserved. So he tells her to scream. And initially I was like, why he want her to scream? But then he was like, just, yell out, yeah. I said, is he trying to hear what her bedroom voice is or something? And then she just says it like, yeah, because we're not in the proper venue fool to be yelling out anything. We're in an establishment. What I look like screaming in here at my big grown age? So then he's like, yeah, she's too you don't be afraid. What is it like? Don't be afraid to be quiet because I can't be quiet. Again, every conversation he has with the woman is about sex. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like seriously. Ready to Love, Own, Tommy, whoever is the production company behind this. What are we doing? Is this really okay for y'all? Y'all don't think any of this is alarming? We don't want to, it's not raising an eyebrow in any capacity? Okay. Meanwhile, Patricia's talking to William. They're vibing. They both drive diesel trucks. She says she wants to peel him like a banana and get to know him. Girl, I have never said that. I feel like you should have said peel back his layers of an onion. But peel him like a banana to get to know him, that wasn't the right food item. Wasn't the right food item to use. We then get Luron and Patrice, so they're on a date. So this episode, we saw a lot of the same people go on dates, and I guess next week we're gonna get those people going on a bunch of different dates. Okay, so we have Luron and Patrice. They are meeting for lunch. She ordered turkey necks. He ordered a platter of catfish. It was a lot of catfish on there. I know it was on a bed of fries, but he definitely still looked like he had four fillets. LaRon, if you in here, is it 4 fillets? You had a lot of catfish on that plate. It was so much. So they both talk about how they like quality time, and he's saying stuff like, "Oh, we can go do this. We can go, put on the VR headsets, and there's a bunch of different things we can do." Which we know that she likes that type of stuff because she talked about that with William, right? So they bring out his fish, and he was so enamored with that fish, right? I don't care for catfish myself. It did look good, but he was like salivating at the mouth. And if it's one thing that I don't like, if you're somebody that you're enjoying your food, I'm all for it. Enjoy it, boo boo woo woo woo, whatever. But I don't want to keep hearing, oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God, I don't like hearing that either. I cannot stand when people do that. My mom is that person, and it drives me up the wall whenever I'm like having dinner with her. So he's doing that, and she takes that Patrice as he's not paying attention. If we're gonna spend quality time, because quality time is being together, I want you present and like focused on me. He said that even though he turns up Wednesday through Sunday, it's a lot of turning up, he wants to leave that life. He then said that he's just waiting for a woman to leave, so he can leave that life. And it's like, LeBron, you're not serious. Ain't LeBron the guy that want 2 to 10 kids, or is that Dominique? LeBron is not serious. LeBron is not serious. You can't be. You can't be. Okay. So we then have a date with April and Jonathan. Now, Jonathan, initially he felt that it was Mika that was asking all those questions about his past relationship. So he's going to just bring out April to have a conversation. He immediately asks April about her last relationship. Now, this is key. He asked her first about her past relationship. She was married just like everybody else on here. I feel like this is like a divorcee season. So she was married. That was her last relationship. Her ex-husband lacked self-control, and she became insecure because of that. So I don't know if that means that he cheated or he just lusted after, I guess that's still cheating. He just lusted after other women. She then asked him about his relationship between him and his ex. And she asked, why does he think that his ex still wants him? Because he did say that. He's in the confessional and he's like, this is annoying that we're talking about my last relationship. And, people don't want to talk about what went wrong. But Jonathan, you brought up the conversation. April was going to bring it up anyways, but you brought up the conversation. You know what I mean? Had you had not even, I mean, I don't understand why these men come on here and don't want to talk about their past relationships. Any person that is going to go on a journey with you and step into a relationship is going to ask about your past. Those are standard questions. Unless you are still having relations and interactions with that woman that are more than just about your child, then it shouldn't matter. You should be able to divulge whatever she's asking. And I feel like in this capacity, this was very different than how she was with Lamar. She softened her tone a little bit, okay? So he said that he basically didn't speak up about issues and would sweep them under the rug. So he thinks that she's being kind of aggressive, says that in his confessional. So he tries to end the date and she's like, "No, there's so much more to talk about." Get the clue says he don't want to do this. Now, on one hand, yes, ask about the past relationships, but on the other, you got to find something else to talk about, April. You cannot interrogate every single man that you go out with. It's not going to happen. So we are at the men's lounge, all right? We find out who everybody is feeling. That's cool. We don't really care about that part for now, but we find out who they are not feeling. So, April, they're calling her aggressive, right? They're calling her aggressive. They're saying that, she's talking about her degrees and all of that type of stuff. Somebody on Twitter said, "Note to women, men don't care about your degrees." I don't think that's true. I think certain men don't, right? Certain men don't. There are some men that do want to hear about your accolades and the highest level of education that you have. Some do. So it's not all. I also, the fact that she has a doctorate, I mean, she should be proud of that. Is it something to lead with? If you're getting to know me, I'm absolutely going to say it. If somebody asks me, I would definitely tell you I have a degree in communication. It's not something that I lead with, but I have it, but it's also not a doctorate, so I guess. And then for Koshia, a lot of the men say that there is no spark. Luron is like, "Well, I want her to stay because he's feeling her." Will said, and that's fine, not to take that away from you, but she's dismissive to people in a way that shows that she's not open to the process. And remember, Luron, is Ron the one that said that he moved to Dallas to find a wife in Koshia? Yes. So that's why they have a little connection from their mixer. But I mean, Koshia lived to see another day, but she is doing a lot, right? So we have Lamar take out April. Why? And then we have Alonzo take out Koshia. Alonzo takes out Koshia, and apparently during that exchange, what we did not see is he asked her, choked or spanked. She was offended, as she should have been. It's inappropriate. And he told her that the question wasn't sexual. What was it then? What was it? If the question wasn't sexual, what was it? Are we talking abuse? Are you talking how you discipline a child? Are you talking how you discipline a pet? What could it be other than sexual, right? So she's like, "I'm not going to be gaslit about this. We can either change the subject or the date is over." So he's like, "Fine." He then tells her, "I talked to the guys, talked to Tommy, and we think that you need to just kind of reel back on some of your energy, bring your guard down a little bit." He's not giving her any specific examples about what she might need to change or switch up. So he tells her, but she is still ready to love. She says in her confessional, "I don't know what to do differently because he didn't tell me what I was doing wrong." Like, exactly. He then tells her that they were going back and forth saying black and white, red or blue, tall or short, winter or summer, doing one of those type of games. And then he said choked or spanked. And he said that she should have given him the respect to ask if he meant sexual or not. She gets up and walks away as she should. The fuck is wrong with you, Alonzo? Like, seriously. Like, for you to try to even gaslight her in that moment is crazy. Absolutely crazy. What else could choked or spanked mean? I don't think I like any of the men on this cast. I don't. I feel like LaRon's not bothering me. LaRon's not bothering me, and William isn't. But I feel like every single one of these dates was disastrous. So then we have Lamar and April. She thinks that he's there to apologize. Why would you think that? Look at how your interaction went. What about that man looked like he would come and tell you sorry? So they're sitting down, and she said that some of the questions at the mixer have been intensive. Okay, I think she said intensive. He tells her that she's coming off a little too strong with the guys. And it's almost like, are you looking for a relationship or somebody to control like a puppy? He then tells her that, we just don't think you're ready to love. She said, well, maybe y'all just not ready for her. She doesn't think that she came off a little too strong. She gets up and walks away. What an episode, y'all. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys next week. Hopefully we have better dates.